I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today I'm going to be discussing the Franck Muller Long Island Reference 1000 SC in 18 karat white gold. You can see this automatic Franck Muller in white gold on our website, purchase it there. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional photographs, accessories included, and naturally full pricing details. Now, the Franck Muller Long Island is in a style best described as Jazz Age Baroque, a reference to the Great Gatsby era of the roaring 1920s. The watch is modern sized outright, but it's vintage in its styling cues and its references. So 30.5 millimeters across the broad of the case, not including the crown. That's from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. The watch has a nice broad span as it contours across the wrist. This timepiece is 51.5 millimeters from extremity to extremity, that is edge of lug to edge of lug. Wonderfully thin though. The timepiece is only 8.5 millimeters thick. The watch has an interesting impression on the wrist, not just aesthetically but physically. It feels and it fits different, and that's in large measure due to the cambered case. You can see it doesn't just have small, short, and tightly cropped lugs, it actually has a curved case, and that's matched by an impressively curved sapphire. Cambered sapphire is not cheap to make, and it speaks to the attention to detail and, quite honestly, the extent to which Franck Muller went to make this watch aesthetically coherent. So you have the cambered case and the cambered sapphire. You also have a strap that, while very substantial, doesn't have any tendency to flare out. You can see the strap's also fixed by screws, which is the higher quality method of fixing a strap to a case. With a large and heavy precious metal watch such as this, the screw gives you just a little bit more security than a spring bar. You'll note that the strap is very substantial, appropriately rectangular scale monotone stitch, dark brown alligator, features calfskin on the bottom. This pre-owned watch does come with a steel pin buckle, so please note, although it is a white gold watch, it does feature a steel pin buckle for easy adjustment on the fly. Now, the case itself is all high polish with the exception of the satin finished solid gold engraved caseback. Now, given that the movement is based on the ETA 2892, it's not necessary to see it, and I'll take a solid gold caseback weighing over an ounce over a $30 sapphire any day when it's a basic ETA caliber inside. This watch is all about precious metal content and a dazzling aesthetic. Not so much the machine inside, it's the spirit of the watch on the outside. And the dial is absolutely outstanding. It's a sort of salmon or copper or bronze, beautifully turned on a rose lathe. This is guilloche at its absolute best. Now you can see as I move the watch through the light of my light box how the light plays across that guilloche dial. It has a number of, again, one might say Jazz Age Baroque styling elements. Long Island, the namesake of this model line, was a hotbed of the roaring 20s, of the flappers, of the Gatsbys and the Gatsby wannabes, the new money, the quick money, the booms and the busts, and of course, those who might have flown just under the radar of legality in the Prohibition era. And the watch features a lot of cues that recall that era, such as the stylized Arabic numerals, a varying size outboard of a piano key style minute track inboard. You'll also note elaborate pair style hands. This watch is just hours and minutes, although it does retain the hacking function of the underlying ETA caliber. Quick technological specifications here. We are talking about a derivative of an ETA 2892A2, so ultra-thin automatic winding with a platinum winding mass, bidirectional winding. The platinum mass is Franck Muller's technological contribution to the movement. With that platinum mass, it makes it a more efficient winder to more readily energize the 42-hour power reserve, and it beats at a modern 4 Hz rate. But its number one asset is that it is set it and forget it simple and nice and thin so that you can make the watch nice and slim. You'll also note that the watch does feature an immense amount of luminova on its dial, and while I normally wouldn't create a lume shot to highlight a feature of a dress watch, they're usually pretty tepid when they have lume, this one's simply spectacular, so it's going to get its moment not in the sun right here on the channel. Bear with me a moment. Now, while the sun may have set on the roaring 20s, it never sets on this watch. As you can see, this is broad daylight legibility. The watch may even be more legible in low and no light conditions. And again, true to its inspiration, when the sun goes down, this one becomes a riot. Look at those pair hands, look at the definition, look at the luminescence, and quite honestly, the ease of distinguishing between hours and minutes. This is an easy watch to read, so it succeeds both aesthetically and in terms of artistic charm and avant-garde dial detail mixed with a little bit of stylized reminiscence, romanticism, and nostalgia. You can see this vintage evocative and yet thoroughly modern-sized white gold Franck Muller Long Island 1000 SC and purchase it on our website.